basically we're here with Michael Quigley. Do you know what I mean? You're a founder of a company. You're an author of a book. You've done so much. And even just to start with, right?
Yeah.
I just want to start with a word and say anything after this. Say anything.
Okay.
Primary school teacher.
Or just say one word.
Okay, no, that's
wow. Yeah. My parents used to say to me, like, Mike, they've not created a job for you yet.
Yeah.
And then I still think they think that, and I really think like it's the same, because when I became a teacher, they were like, oh great. Yeah. And then after I left teaching, they were like, by the way, like, why were you a teacher for a bit? Like, we thought, oh good, but that's maybe kind of part of what you're all about. Yeah. My family are all teachers. I didn't want to be a teacher, I still don't. Parents are teachers, my brothers are teachers, and I fell into teaching to the back door. So a lot of people want to be a teacher, and they train and they get into the classroom and they realise, I don't actually want to do this. I wanted the idea, what it is. Like people say, oh, I want to be a millionaire. Maybe the reality is different. Mine was different. I started working with kids almost by accident. After uni, I started doing drama workshops with kids, like music lessons, and just teaching. And I loved it. And I realised, like, oh, I like spending time with kids. It was as simple as that. And that's why I then went on to become a teacher. It wasn't that I had this idea. It was like, no, I just like being with these little people. And if I can get it, like, I used to say, like, oh, how's your mum? And just remember them and have relationships with them and understand them and just talk to them, and it was really cool. And just kind of followed that, really. And it's fun as well, the creativity that you have to have. It's pretty powerful, some of the things you get to do.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some fun times. I can tell you many stories.
Yeah. So what were you like as a kid?
Was that, honestly?
What are the stories that your mom tells?
I was a handful, man. I was a nightmare. My mum used to say to me, I remember, she used to go, just behave today, please. The teachers used to apparently they couldn't handle me. I had one teacher, I'll never forget, I was 5, and she said to me, Michael has no artistic talent. He can't even draw a stick man.
Wow.
And I remember being like, I'll show you. Dressed up in my Ghostbusters outfit, like, I'm gonna show you. But I was a nightmare. I was just full of energy. I was left-handed, so I think that makes a difference. Because everyone's learning how to write, I'm like, I'm different and all that kind of stuff. I was a real handful. I wasn't a bad child, I was just full of energy. And I just think my teacher didn't quite know how to control me. And then as I got older, I chilled out. Most people go the other way, don't they? And they rebel. I had nothing to rebel against. I just kind of chilled out more and started to work harder at school, whereas most people kind of go the other way, don't they? But yeah, I worked hard when I got to high school and stuff. I understood it was on me, and I had to try my best. And I remember when I was 15, studying for my GCSE, I worked hard. And my mum was pleasantly surprised, I think, when I got my results, and she was like, oh, you got good results. And then, of course, you learn that, then you can carry that through to further education. So yeah, I started out pretty mad, and I kind of chilled out, I think, as I went along.
Yeah, so at that point, was it, I want to be a school teacher?
No.
At that point?
No.
At that point, what did you want to do? What was your...
When I was 16? When I was, 16. Well, I tell you actually, I was really, I did a lot of performing arts. I was in a lot of plays. I used to be a skateboarder. I was in a band. I was doing all sorts of crazy stuff. But I got some really good advice when I was about 17, 18, and I went to Newman College in Preston. And really good piece of advice, teacher said, look, do you want to be an actor or do you want to act? Now, of course, when you're 17, you think it's the same thing. And he said, no, if you want to be an actor, you got to be prepared to, not work for ages. And you might do really well on Broadway, and then you might not work again. And you have to be ready for that. But if you just want to act, you might not do it for a job, but you'll find ways. You might be amateur dramatics. And I was like, I just want to act. And that kind of, I understood that then. So it's performance was part of what I do naturally, and it was part of who I was. And actually, it's quite rare that you can let that side of you out, because a lot of people don't feel very comfortable around that. Yeah. They label you and they say you're a drama queen or whatever. Especially English people, they are pretty reserved, and you can't be and you shouldn't be, forceful on people. But that performance aspect, I realised, right, that's kind of a part of me, but it doesn't need to be my job. And then I did a degree in English and drama, but then I majored in English because I love writing, and then a master's in English. And then the primary school thing was, I realised I didn't want to do a PhD because, no disrespect to people who study English, but I didn't want to be a doctor of Victorian English. To me, a doctor is somebody who saves lives, I'd experienced a lot of academia, and academia is great, but it's not the whole world. And that's why I love primary school, because it's the opposite. It's don't specialise in one thing. You're going to be able to teach all these things to 5-year-olds that don't care. to a high standard. Good luck with that. Now I'm in the business world, that's called selling. But at the time I didn't know. Basically, that's like, I really don't care. I'm like, you will care in an hour, and you will be able to do it. Like, I don't know how, but we'll find a way. You know, I've got a cardboard box. Let's make it interesting. You know, and that was it. Like, I just was like, it wasn't about like there's this one career. I think I love people, and like that's the kind of thing that's gone through it all the whole time. And again, with the teaching. Now I'm not a teacher anymore, just like performing, it's part of what I do. And I think if it's part of what you do naturally, you'll always kind of do it, you know? So I don't need to be a teacher. I'm not one of these people, I'm a bit of maybe a rebel. I don't care about status, titles, I don't care what you call me. I don't like being called Mr. Quigley, I don't like being called, I hated being called Sir. I worked in school once, they called me Sir. I was like, no, man, come on. No. You know, I did jiu-jitsu for a bit, I got called Sensei, and I don't like those, I don't know, natural authority that comes from you is fine. Yeah. But you don't need a title to tell you who you are. You know? And like, I really believe in that, because it should just emanate from who you are. And then you can get called whatever you want. But it's never, like yourself, you're a father, but you're a son, but you're also a husband. You're all these things, but you're Chico, you know, that's who you are. And so to me, the performance and the teaching is part of who I am. Yeah. It's part of what I bring to what I do. I just don't need to have it as a job title. Yeah, that's it.
So where did all of that come from? Who would you say were kind of like your role models that kind of brought that side out?
Yeah, there's definitely a few. I've been very fortunate. So my family's Catholic, and you can say a lot of things, good and bad, about Catholic Church. One good thing about it is there was a man who was a priest. We actually 2 priests and a nun. They're all friends of my family. So like my parents' teachers, and we used to teach together at this high school. They were really role models, Father Peter, Father Chris, and Sister Marie. Again, because they were rebels. They were like forward thinking, and just they had so much generosity. So like, I'll give you an example. Every birthday and Christmas, we had a bag of presents from Father Peter. We had literally like, you know, Father Christmas's presents, and then presents from him, or the birthday fairy, and presents from him. And he was so generous, and so kind, and so loving. There was no limit to it. Like I say to people now, so like, what's the limit of how good your relationships can be? And they're like, there isn't one. I'm like, exactly. And he taught me that, and my parents taught me that. So those guys were definitely role models. My mother is an incredible woman, strong woman, and she was a role model. Just so many people, but it's a funny one because people say to me like, what drives you? Like, do you have a coach and all that? And I have coaches and I have people I work with that help me to be better, but it comes from inside, like, because. And this is something that's quite sad, but you know, those people die, and they have on me, literally, about 8 of them recently, in the last kind of few years, and what you realise is you're part of like a story where like you are not that person, somebody else. So there's like a responsibility there. People inspire you and all that, and they help you to grow, but then you've got to pass that on. You've got to, because if you don't, those things die with them, and they can't. That's too important. And the way I do things and the way I treat people, I think people appreciate it because it comes from a good place. And it doesn't matter who you are. You can appreciate it and you can understand that I'm just trying to help or trying to love people, and that's all they were ever about, always. I'm very, very fortunate to know those people.
Yeah, that's incredible, because you seem to be a very multifaceted person in terms of this author, businessman, guru, sensei, you know, I mean, all of these different things. Now, so where did business come in all of this?
Oh man, business. I tell you now, anybody watching who's like scared about business, don't be. Business is like the revelation of my life, because I left teaching, and the short version was I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew I wasn't teaching anymore. It wasn't creative enough for me. Honestly, like, I love the kids. They were never the problem, was the other stuff, which teachers will understand. But then I had ideas, you know, wrote a book about it. I had these ideas and I started to just put them down. And the turning point was when I met with my accountant. And I just naturally started to have clients and doing things and just sharing, just, you know, literally just doing stuff. But he said to me, like, your book's getting published. And I said, yeah. And he said, is it self-published? I said, no. So it's a proper publisher. He went, right, well then your IP, your intellectual property is valuable. People are willing to pay money for it. You shouldn't be self-employed. You should have a limited company, because you've now created an asset. And I was like, because it changed the way I thought about everything. So for example, like when you think like a self-employed person, someone's like, you got a backpack of skills, and you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna come do my little job, and that's fine, and you can do that really well. But if you think of a limited company, which isn't you, there's me, and then there's this thing that's just separate, that's when it gets really exciting. Really exciting. because I got a really good piece of advice from a friend of mine who's got a business, and early on she just said, it's your business, you do it your way. And to me, business is the vehicle that you, literally the car you drive in, to help people to do the good. So I did it through teaching, I did it through business. And business has helped me to do it in a wider, deeper, bigger way than I was ever able to do in teaching. Honestly, it's numbers game. So like, you know, we're able to write a book, then create an online course, wanted to work regionally in Lancashire, then nationally in London, and internationally. We've done all that because of business. So like, I love business because it's all about creating assets, IP, and relationships. Literally, the air of your business, AIR, assets, IP, and relationships. Look after those three. I don't care about anything else. I don't want a title. I don't want an office. You know, that kind of disruptive model. I don't care about any of that. I care about the people. I care about the results. I care about the products. I care about the services. And by doing that, so far, it's working. But I think that, again, it's like with teaching. Just looking at it from maybe like an outsider's point of view. You know, a teacher who's gone into business as opposed to the other way around, and just seeing that they're all actually part of a bigger whole. You know, like those pirate maps you've got, when they're all like black, and they're like, you know, and as you go to the next island, it fills out, and you see, you know what I mean? I'm not sounding mad. And you just see that bit more of the island, and it's like that. So you're in this teaching bubble, and you're like, oh, there's this, and that speaks to that, and they know that person. You know, so it literally came from just like, I got to get this stuff out. And then people started responding to it really, really well, and I was like, we're gonna do some more, and it's just like, it's incredible. You know, people say, oh, it's the cold, hard business world. Rubbish. Rubbish. It's. I've met some of the nicest people. You know what I mean, though. Seriously, though, and the opportunities that are created have been second to none. It's incredible. The things I get to do now as a businessman, I was never able to do those as a teacher. And there's nothing against teaching. It's fine. It's just I'm in a different place now. And actually, I still teach, and I do probably the best teaching I've ever done. Because I'm not spending time on things that don't benefit the children. You know? So that's a pretty long answer, but
that is incredible. That's a different side of business that people don't get to see, because all of us, for all of us, even for me, when I was younger, when I first thought about business, I thought I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm going to make loads of money, and I'm going to do all of these different things. But people don't think about the side of business that's about, I actually want to be a blessing and be something of value to my fellow man. Do you know what I mean? Rather than I just want to take everyone's money. Do you know what I mean? That's how people view business, and that's your. You know what I mean? Your take on business is absolutely incredible, and it's a whole different side to it. Do you know what I mean? Than just I want to.
Well, I had to be, because as a teacher, right? You have a pay grade. You go up, so you get paid a certain amount, and then you get paid more, and it goes up, and then you have a threshold where you take on some extra responsibility, etc., etc. But if you work harder, you don't necessarily get paid more. Okay, so I was working 85 hours at one point, very ineffectual, like on a Sunday, so all that, right? You get paid for about 35 hours. You're working 85 hours, do the math. So you're effectively, if you're running a business like that, you're stupid. So you're doing it for different reasons, okay? But then once I left teaching, there's no cap on how much money I can make. And there's this great guy called T.R. Becker, and he talks about your money blueprint. And it's like you're set to an amount of making money. So teachers set to about 25, 30, 35, 40,000 pounds. Top level, 50 to 70,000 pounds. That's what they're set to make. To them, that's a lot of money. Okay, so if you made 100,000 pounds a year, that's a lot of money. Anything below 25 is low. And suddenly when I left teaching, I had no reference point. So I was like, do I just carry on earning that? Do I lower my, what do I do? And I realised the only limits I'm setting are ones I set myself. And to me, this is what I literally found in business. I thought it was true, and now I've experienced it. The higher the value of the services and stuff you provide, you'll get paid for it really well if you do really good stuff. If you don't, you won't. It's as simple as that. So if you want to be a millionaire, you do, or you billionaire, you provide the stuff that's worthy of being a millionaire and billionaire. Do you know what I mean? And so by thinking like that, it's like all bets are off. You focus on doing the quality that will then result. So like keynote speaking, I can talk. But that's a valuable skill in the business world. I remember I did my first speech in London, and I was like, wow, I get to go and be part of this event and have a great time and be valued, and there's good value there, you get paid well, all that stuff. I was like, wow. And then you just start to have these experiences where it's how it actually is not how you thought it would be. So like you say, when you want to be a millionaire as a kid, you know it's possible, but you have no idea how. You start to get some experiences where you go, well, maybe it's because of that. So there's people living near my parents, and multimillionaires made a till receipt machine. The money's not where you always think it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's that money blueprint.
Yeah.
We set it to a certain amount, and then we live to that amount.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just kind of went, set it, just literally kick it, and just why not?
Yeah, and value is different things to different people, isn't it? You know what I mean? Some people might, like you're saying, you know what I mean, a till roll machine, whatever. To me, I'm like...
Exactly. But to an international, I don't know, like Tesco or Sainsbury's or shopping conglomerate,
exactly.
That's an essential machine and part of what they do.
Yeah.
So like say value, and you're right, value is different things to different people. One of the worst things you can feel in the business world is devalued.
Yeah.
Because you take it personally, you're like, I've got this stuff, and to be honest, nobody cares. When I first started, nobody cared. I had nothing. Yeah, I've got all these ideas, and the world's like, so.
Yeah. There we go.
You gotta make them care.
Exactly. Until you add value to somebody, it doesn't really. And that's the problem I always had. Initially, I was always chasing people, because you're not giving them anything of value. So you're always gonna have to chase.
You're almost asking for something, saying, "Can I have this from you?" And they're like, well, "Why should I give you something?"
There we go.
And again, that word value, you know, it's thrown around. I think through social media and stuff, it means different things now. But actually, I think it's the word value and content are overused, aren't they? But I understand it differently. Better now through the business, but you're right, this idea of value, basically you know when it's there. It's like a rapport with somebody. If you've got a good rapport with somebody, like we came this morning and started having a good laugh, you know when it's there, don't you?
Yeah.
And you know when it's not.
There we go.
And I think if you start with that, I literally always say to people, build rapport. You know, like, and people say, how do you do that? I'm just like, be nice and just try.
Yeah.
And then once you've got that, that's then a platform to talk about maybe exchanging ideas or whatever. But you're right to focus on that value, because otherwise, it's just a hired gun. I'm like, nobody needs that. You know, we don't need another person. But you know, again, it's just like, I've done my stuff. So, do you know what I mean? It's like, who cares?
There we go.
It's not deep enough.
Yeah, there we go. That's so true. So you've written a book.
I have.
This book, Kataholos Guidelines for a Holistic, Happy Life. And
yes,
I've read this book.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You read it all the way through?
Definitely read all the way through. And
I'm
it's
impressed.
it's very simple. It's very practical, and I'll say to you, but then it's so deep at the same time. Now I was looking at, like, I took some notes on some of the things I want to even ask you about this show. Firstly, Kataholos, what does that mean?
Yeah, well, firstly, you've done well to pronounce it, because I've had Katahalos, catheter once. It's like, oh man, come on, please. So it's almost like a made up word. Okay, so I figure if you're gonna have a business, it's either gonna mean something to you or a totally made up word. Like Google didn't mean anything, did it? Before it was a verb to Google something, it was just like Google. So kata means form. I did martial arts and the years, and the form is how you do something. Your kata is a series of moves, and holos means holistic. So you put it together, it means holistic form. So it means everything that you do, you should always relate it to the whole. So if it's yourself in business, well, how does that affect you as a husband or as a son? You know what I mean? And how's your health going there? So always consider the whole in everything you do for yourself and others. But also the secondary meaning is everybody's welcome, which is cool. Which originally comes from the original name Katahalos. So it's a play on. It's basically saying everybody's welcome, and it's all about community and holistic and thinking like a whole rather than just separate parts. Because I'm not about that. So it has a meaning. But it's a talking point, you know, and literally, like, you know, there's not many people that use that word really. And I wanted it to mean something, because this is everything to me. People say, like, when you stop, I'm like, when I'm dead, like, what's going to stop me? Like lack of money? Don't think so. And I realised that a few months ago. I was giving a speech, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not stopping until I'm dead. And then people went, I was like, no, I'm not. Like, you know, so yeah, and that's what it means.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, that makes complete sense.
You could also the short answer is just made up word.
Yeah, it's made up.
Anything. What do you think it means? That's what you could say. You know, what do you think? I don't know.
Exactly. So, because in the book you go through the body, the mind, spiritual serenity. You go through digital health. Because one of the things that I saw was digital health. Yeah. You know what? I've heard it before, but when I read it in your book, that's the first time I've actually read something where someone's written about digital health.
A lot of people say it.
Because you kind of have an idea, okay, digital health. It's got something to do with technology and digital stuff. So tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so when I was creating this, I wrote the body and mind bits together, because I was working as a personal trainer at the time, and I was talking about like how the body is related to the mind, and then I started writing the spiritual bit. And then as I started bringing it all together, I was like, there's more. So to me, this digital aspect of your health. So it's like whether we like it or not, digital technology affects our health. But again, straight away, if you mention it to people, the first thing they say, "I'll spend too much time on Facebook." But again, it's about understanding more than that. It's like technology is just things that you interact with and use. It used to be the printing press. 100 years ago, people couldn't read. Can't everybody reading? It'll be scandalous. And can't have women reading and all these things. And then suddenly you got access to reading, and now it's suddenly access to the internet. So what I found was I had a really hard time. I literally had a breakdown and like coming back and keeping well. And some of the things I realised was, things like social media, which gets a bad rap, phones, all these things, they have an impact on your health. If you were to just literally like set a timer on your phone and go like scroll the internet and check in with yourself 20 minutes later and say, how do I feel? But also the amount of information that we get given now and subjected to is a lot. So I'm not saying it's a bad or a good thing. It's just like your body, it's not a bad or a good thing, but it's an essential aspect of the health, and technology is moving closer and closer and closer into your body. I'm wearing contact lenses. They're literally on my eyes. We put earphones in our ears, we have pacemakers inside our chests. And now with cell technology and things, we're going to have literally, you'll be able to inject little mini machines that can help your white blood cells. So the point is that stuff's coming, And like a lot of things, people straight away they go, it's a thing, but I didn't realise it's a thing. I feel we need to understand it before it becomes an issue. It's kind of like, say, if you're having a drink and you want to do responsible drinking, you don't wait until you're an alcoholic. You go, I could have gotten a handle on that. And it's the same kind of thing. People, I don't think it's enough for people to have conversations about things. You've got to do stuff about it. You've got to have a way of living your life that's a positive, happy way. And then again, I always think, all right, so what would I do, or what do I do? What can people do? And that's why it's practical. It's not just preaching at people saying this is a thing. It's like, here's what I think, and here's what you can try. Because if you get it right, it's wonderful. There's some wonderful aspects to it, but if you get it wrong, it can be horrendous. Horrendous. So yeah, it's an essential aspect. It's such an important aspect to our health. I was like, why don't we have? Where do we go to find this information? And I didn't have an answer, so I wrote it. And that's what I try and do. If I think something's important and people tell me something's important, and that I can't find answers, I make them or try and share them. Because I feel if I'm thinking about this and other people think about it, people should have access to information.
Exactly. So what are some quick tips that you could give to anyone about digital health? What could you do?
Sure. So if you have all your apps on your phone, social media apps, okay, if you deleted them on Friday night till Sunday for 2 days of the weekend, that's 104 days without social media in a year. That's cool. That's nearly a third of your year. So there's that one. The second one I always do is setting timers on your phone whenever you engage in, say, social media on your phone, something like that. So 20 minutes, for example. It's plenty of time. You'd be amazed what you can do in 20 minutes. Timer goes off, get off it. Mindlessly scrolling. I literally do it when I do my social media. I post content, engage with other people, and build relationships. If I find myself mindlessly scrolling, that's when I jump off. And when you are. You're just like, if you say to yourself, why am I here? And you don't have an answer, get off. And then the third one is sleep, and this is controversial, I get so much stick for it, is sleep with your phone outside your bedroom. Right?
I've heard,
Seriously, put it outside. People say but it's my alarm. It's my alarm too. I get up at 5 in every morning. It doesn't fail. And people say, I've got kids and stuff. Fine. Find a way that works though. Seriously, put it inside a box and create an echo chamber. And get Alexa to hook it up or something. But seriously, because again, it's your sleep is your time to decompress. If you think, I'm old enough to remember, you went on the internet and then you came off the internet. Now with broadband, the internet doesn't switch off. But human beings need to switch off. And even if you're just in your bedroom, you're lying there thinking about, I just check something, it's there. And that's not cool. If you're trying to look after yourself, because life's going to hit you hard and give you knocks, and you've got to rest. That's one thing I've learned. You've got to look after yourself. It's essential, because I don't get enough sleep. You could. You really, really could. So find outside the bedroom, set the timers on the phone, and consider the social media deletion, or at least just a friend of mine said, I couldn't do that, but I could put it onto the third page. So when you're swiping across, it's further away. And I said, that's baby steps. That's impressive. I know, but she was like, I'm not ready for that. And I was like, it's okay, I'll hold your hand.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. But it's true. That's, because I did it over Christmas for last year, 10 days, just my family. And it was literally coming out of the cloud. And I was like, that's cool. Because I always say to people, you've got a phone, your phone hasn't got you. It's not. A
lot of our phones have got us. And okay, so just moving on. So body. Right, because I think like a lot of people that will listen to what we do with business owners, and a lot of the stuff that we do is business related. We talk to a lot of business owners, and more I found the need that I've seen the importance of making sure your health is in a good place, your body is in a good place.
Yep.
Because even with business, you can't function effectively unless, do you know what I mean, you're healthy.
Yeah.
And also I realised that especially January, right? There's something I call January fizz, and that's what I call it, January fizz. And
They've got the January fizz. They're a bit flat.
Exactly. And what it is simply
empty container.
In January we all want to lose weight. We all like we're gonna get healthy. But why don't we actually do it? Why do
you want the honest answer?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, go on.
Because you don't want it enough. If you wanted it, you would find a way, right? If you don't, you find an excuse. I mean, that's been thrown around loads, but it's so true. And people don't like hearing that because they go, well, you don't know what's going on in my life. And it's not about that. When you want something, it's not even when you want something, because that sounds selfish, doesn't it? When I want this, so I'm going to do this. It's more about, like you've just said, when you value yourself and your body. I still say to teachers now, you are your best resource. So you put it in business terms, you're your best asset. You are your best asset. Yeah. So if I come up to this interview today and I'm looking shabby and I'm hungover and I'm late, well then I've not done myself a justice, have I? So you've got to take, even just on that level, what are the things I've got to do to take care of myself so I perform at this kind of thing. And for me, body's been a central thing since I was young into martial arts, and then as I got older, started doing weight training, yoga, bodybuilding, and I did CrossFit. So I've always pushed myself and explored the body. But basically, your body is incredible, but you've got to give it what it needs. Because I don't play this game with people go, I'm in my 30s, I'm getting older. Rubbish. My dad started marathon running when he was 37. I know people that have got into 80s and 90s and that kind of thing. So again, it's that thing of, I wrote a blog on this. I said, if you want to make a change, do it in December. Give yourself a couple of weeks, get some momentum. So by the time everybody's there with their fizz, you're just like, playing that game. Like I've already got ahead. Do you know what I mean? But also think long term, because you see all these Instagram 12-week transformations and stuff, yeah. But what happens after that? You've got to live in your body every day. That's why nutrition's so hard. There's nothing you do every single day, mainly, except for eating, drinking, that kind of thing. So what I say to people is like, man, your body is an amazing, beautiful thing. It's your body as well. Like I got all sorts of things wrong with my body. Like I've got bad eyesight, I haven't got a straight jaw, I've got flat feet, but it's my body. And like, it's like you can either go for this thing that doesn't exist and say, when I get that, I'll be happy. Or it's literally like going, right, I've got this thing. Let's see how far I can take this thing. But that one I think is a lot better, because how people do that will be different for them. But yeah, just sheerly from a business point of view, eat something before you go on a meeting. You perform better. All those kind of things, regulating yourself around where you need to perform. I've learned that from the gym, rest and recovery. Because especially in the business world, it takes chunks out of you. And if you're not at that kind of like higher level of percentage of energy levels, again, you do yourself a disservice. You know, if you're sat there tired, you might miss opportunities.
Yeah, that's it.
So it's valuing yourself and just saying like, well, I can't lose weight in January. I'd say, well, why do you want to lose weight? Because I want to feel better about myself. Oh, that's cool. How long are you going to give yourself? 6 weeks. Why? So I'm trying to get stronger at the moment, like really trying to get stronger. It's hard. It's really hard. And I've dedicated a year. And even now in the second month, I've started to understand it might be more of a 3-year thing. Because it takes that, I'm talking long, 3 to 5 years. That's okay. Those years are going to pass anyway, aren't they? And you're going to look back and go, I could have done that. So what I say to people, slow down. You get to March, so what?
Yeah, amazing. I've actually got so many questions for you, because there's a lot in your book. There's a lot of different things that you've done. So you talk about, in your book, spirituality. First, even before going to that, do you actually take cold showers every day?
Yeah.
Wow.
Did one this morning.
Wow, that sounds painful.
It's hard. It never gets easy.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I know my wife did it. I think every now and then
when she had the fizz.
Yeah.
She's on a January health kick. It's gonna happen.
Every
and then after 3 days.
I'm just like, cold water. It's evil. Wow, that's
evil. It's evil.
Evil.
Cold water is evil. Newsflash. It's a revelation.
But then there's people who use cold water because there's no other options. There's people somewhere in the world who, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I stayed in a place in Romania and they had a stick through that wall to hold the toilet roll up. But then he gave me like the best breakfast ever because I was a guest in his house. He had his priorities straight. So you're right, absolutely. Privileged to have a hot shower.
That's crazy. So like, so we've talked about spirituality kind of obviously outside of this and in conversations. Now, for the person who, for them, they're not really religious and they're not really spiritual.
Sure.
So what would you say, how does this whole spirituality affect them? Because obviously you talk about a holistic life and you talk about how the spirit is a massive part of that. How does that affect me? Let's say if I said to you, I'm not religious, I'm not spiritual at all, do you know what I mean? How does that really relate to me and what affect me in that sense?
It's a great question. I think one of the first things that we still always read book still does is when you look at, like, you read science or you read religious book, you talk to people and there's this kind of dichotomy. It's like you can be religious and spiritual, or you can be scientific, one or the other. First of all, that's rubbish. I think it's just a waste of time. Because the scientific method is one of the most amazing, beautiful things that we can do, because it just helps you to understand the world and how amazing it is. I'd always start with something which I learned, which is wonder. You know, like, so your spiritual side is like that deeper part of you that just, it's just, you know when something's missing, you know when something's fulfilled, and like we said before, you know, you get the body, fine, you get the business, you get the relationships, all that, then you have an existential crisis, just like, I feel nothing, you know. And the spiritual side is about understanding. we come here for a bit. We came from somewhere we don't know where. We're here for a bit, and then we go home. You know, we die, we go home. And understanding that transitory nature of things, that we're all just literally visiting. We're not here to stay, right? Changes, I think, how you look at things. So people say, I'm not religious, I'm not particularly spiritual. Fine, that's absolutely fine. I then talk to them in the language that they then do care about. So it's whatever they're into, you talk in their way. I always say, if you can't say it and they understand, that's my fault. So if somebody's not religious, don't talk to them in religious words. They don't care. They're not bothered. And you're not on some kind of conversion mission. It's about understanding the deeper stuff. So we talk about the body, right? Well, where's that all come from? And what I'm trying to say is, there's energy and there's things behind things that we haven't got a flying clue. You know, we thought we understood science, and then we came up with quantum mechanics, and it was like, actually, you know, one of the laws of quantum mechanics is big things don't behave like small things, but all big things are made up of small things. How do you reconcile that? You know, so it's the same kind of thing. It's about understanding, you know, 97% or whatever it is of matter is dark matter or is empty space. And it's about making time for that empty space. You know, they call it in Taoism and talk about the mug, and they say it's the hole in the mug makes it a mug. Otherwise it's useless. You can't pour anything into it, you know, it's solid. Yeah, I'm strong and solid, great, but that's kind of useless. You need to have some space, you know, so it's all about space. Space inside, space. Unlearn stuff, be wrong, you know, make mistakes, grow, and understand that it's like, I was writing this last night, and it's like, you are the universe, like, discovering itself. And it's like, oh, right, I think it's about this, and then just when you've got it, it's somebody else's turn, you know.
Crazy, man, it's crazy, because you can get into so much different things, because obviously, like I've expressed, you know what I mean, I'm a Christian, and obviously, you know what I mean, that's something that we have in common. But yeah, that's crazy. So, a lot of people now are talking about mindset.
Yes.
A lot of people are talking about mindset. Now,
what am I going to say, Chico, to this? What do you think? What you know me about?
So, from what I know about you, what's missing? What are people not saying? What do you know what I mean? What do you feel? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Right. Here we go. I'll give you a quick answer. We talk about things like they're a thing and they're not. Okay. So again, going back to the mug, right? We call it a mug. It's not a mug. It's got a different answer in French or in Spanish or whatever. Whatever it is what it is. We just call it something. It's the same thing with mindset now. Mindset, mindfulness, value. We talked about these concepts, Christianity. We can call something, right? It's not that. It's way more than that. And one of the worst things you can do is cheapen something and create it into this. It's a thing. Even the fact it's a thing is now a phrase. I hate that phrase. So again, me being a bit of a rebel, people say mindset. I hate the term because it's it's suggesting that you can set your mind in a particular way and you can create parameters. Now fine, if that helps you, that's cool. But what people are hinting at, which is behind that, is it's all about the way you think and the way that you understand the mind and neurology, neuroplasticity, neurogenesis, the beautiful mind that can basically just rewire itself. You can take charge of that process, you can. You can overcome environment, you can overcome childhood problems, you can overcome all these things. It's really hard though, that's when you have cold shower. But what they're basically saying is the way that you think about things is very important. Very important. And you can train it and you can rep it and you can get stronger and you can, and that's definitely true and I definitely agree with that. But the problem is, like with bodies and things like that, it can almost become a shaming thing where they're weak-minded, they haven't got a strong mindset. And I don't anything that separates people and puts them down. The idea that somebody is a multi-millionaire, so she's a very strong-minded woman, therefore she has a great mindset, and this person is a failure, so she doesn't. Maybe this person's been through more. Maybe this person has never truly suffered, and although they're outwardly successful, they're inwardly miserable. Or something's going to come and they won't be able to handle it, and then that's a true understanding. Because to me, one of the beautiful things, it says in the Bible, because you're a Christian, I'll make a reference you'll get, when you're weak, you're strong. And I used to think that's ridiculous. But what it basically means is when you think you're strong, you're going to be humbled. And you're going to suffer, and you're going to get knocked down, and you're going to be like, oh, okay, sorry. And then you're going to come back stronger. So to me, mindset is like part of that, but it's cheapening the beauty of a human being and all the 3D experience they go through. Oh, this made me stronger. No, it didn't. It broke you, and it's horrendous. And you've come out of it stronger. It's not like, oh, this happened to make me the success I am. No, it didn't. At the time, it was like with me. Everything I went through is horrendous. And I wasn't sat there going, it's going to make me strong and I'm going to talk about this, I'm going to write a book. I was just hanging on in there. But on reflection, self-reflection is very powerful. And you can look back and go, okay, that did happen. But how can I reframe the way I look at it now to kind of move forward and help people?
That's it. And can you tell us a bit about kind of things that you went through? Because I know there's a few things that happened that led up to you writing this book and the way you think about things now and that kind of thing.
Okay. So I was very stressed as a teacher. It's a stressful job. It's hard. And I was going through a hard time. And the Father Peter, who I told you about, he was great. Mum came to see me and she said, you need to sit down, I need to tell you something. And it's not going to be good when your mum says that to you, because how often does your mum tell you to sit down? I don't think ever she said, sit down, And she just told me, Father Peter's got multiple brain tumours, Father Peter is dying, he's not going to get better. He'll be gone in about 6 months. And I cried for 20 minutes. I remember the time I looked at the clock and I cried so much that she said to me, and she started crying, you can't be more upset than me. I'm breaking this news, you're not allowed to. And she was like, stop it. I couldn't. Because like you're saying, this guy has been there my entire life. So anyway, as I was going through that, working at school, I wasn't supported. It was bad times. Without going into that, we gave him palliative care, lived with my parents. And I watched a man who I knew my whole life pass on to the other side. But it was terrible, but it was also brilliant. Without going into too much detail about it, to help somebody to die well is, one of the most powerful things you can go through. I saw him the day before he died, and he was watching the cricket. He loves cricket. He's a left-handed spin bowler like me. And I remember seeing him, and I was talking to him, and I said, "Right, I'll see you later." And he actually went, "Just stay and watch the cricket with me for a bit more," because India were playing England. And for some reason, I was like, "Yeah, go on." And we watched it for like an extra 20 minutes. I didn't think anything of it, of course. And as I left, I said, "I love you." And he said, "I love you too." And that was the last time I saw him. I went into that room the next day, and he was dead in the bed. And the window was open, there was a candle burning, and the wind was coming through. And I looked at him, and I was like, and it's like I was saying before, that man gave me so much. He's gone now. And what am I going to do about it? Because again, everything you go through, it never lasts. That's the beautiful and terrible thing, isn't it? Relationships, nothing. It's all temporary. And until you actually experience that, it doesn't really mean anything to you. And anyway, long story short, I went through bereavement counselling, and I figured out we'd had 8 deaths in 5 years in the family. I hadn't really processed it, and this was the one that made me kind of stop. Say stop. And I went through, bad time, really bad time. But unless you kill yourself, which my bereavement counsellor said, she said that is your option. You could go down there. She said, but you haven't. You've come out of it stronger and better, and you've taken reflection and kind of gone, all right. Because I kind of went, I've been through some stuff, but what have I done wrong that got me here? Am I going to go back to where I was? I couldn't. I'd grown. I changed. Once you've been through stuff like that, you're a different person, a better person, I think. And the respect you have for life is different. I like people say like, oh, you treat 5-year-olds, only kids. I'm like, no, they're 5 now. They'll be 18 in 13 years. They're gonna remember what I said. So you start looking outside of time, So like, and that's how I treat people now. I look at them, I look at you, and I think, right, brilliant. We got limited time here together. Let's make it good, because I know what happens. And I think once you bring that kind of level of seriousness, and intention to what you do, you become, but what you do takes on a different meaning. Because it's not just like, I think I want to do this, why? I don't know. It's like, no, I gotta do this. There's no plan B. So yeah, there was that. There's all sorts of things. Yeah. Really, really bad things, but they not killed me, And you have to look at it like that. Because otherwise, I think you can disempower yourself. They can be terrible, and you can get through them. It's not one or the other. It's not they're terrible, but or it's self-reflection. So I've been through. I've been beaten up. I've been hit by cars. I've had all sorts of things thrown at me, literally. And yeah, I'm still here. But I'm not special. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you speak to anybody, they've been through the same kind of things, and if they haven't, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, those are the things. But again, like I say to myself always, and say to clients and people, it's like, okay, yeah, that was bad. So what are we going to do about it? Because that's always the unsaid question hanging in the air. So what are you going to do about it? So what are you going to do about it? What can you do about it? People, next time you're talking to somebody, they're having a moment, you start thinking, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? And if they don't have an answer to it, we're back to that thing of they don't want it enough. Yeah. You got to give it everything. Yeah. What's the point otherwise? My time's coming. And again, going back to religion for a second, there's a brilliant phrase in the Quran. And it says, when you die, you're basically going to meet God and he'll be like, how's it going? Hello. So I gave you a body, right, Chico? Gave you a body, gave you life. Yeah, thank you very much. And had a good amount of time, yeah. What did you do with it? What did you do with it? I gave you all these things, like what did you do with it? And you've got to be able to answer that, even just to yourself. When it's your time, what have you done with it? And when you start thinking like that, everything changes. Because you just start thinking, I don't have to do anything, but I can do everything. Yeah. So that's you asked. You did ask.
Hey, we went there. No.
We did go there.
Yeah, that's all. Just I'm sure people believe like, well, that's heavy.
I can do light, but, like you say, it's a light book. It's it can be light and practical. I can say if you want 10-second answers, I can give you those. Yeah. I'm a well-trained monkey now. Yeah. I can do 60 seconds. I can do whatever. Seriously. So if you want a short answer, just let me know.
Because that's the thing. We need to get. There's no point. Do you know what I mean? I heard someone say playing tiddlywinkies or whatever you called it, but it's like...
Let's not mess around. We're not playing tiddlywinks here. We're playing battleships. B12. Battle.
Let's go.
That's a good game, isn't it? Battleship. Brilliant.
So I watched, you did a short video on your YouTube channel where you talked about the power of choice.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about that. The power of choice.
The video or the power of choice?
The power of choice.
Alright, cool. Yeah.
Because it sounds like a very simple concept, the fact that we've all got the power of choice.
It is.
Like, what's our problem?
Okay, fine. I'll give you. Here's a quick one. If you think of it like, I like to do groups of 3. Yeah. Okay, so you have this stimulus in an environment. Something happens. Bang! Someone slaps you in the face. Yeah. Something happens. Something good or something bad. You've then got your response. So when I used to teach kids a lot, they'd be like, why did you hit them? Because they hit me. Stimulus response. It's Pavlov's dogs. You ring the bell when you feed the dog, and then he starts to salivate when he hears the bell before the food's even there. It's about saying there's a third part. So it's stimulus and there's a space. Then you respond, right? So that's where responsibility comes in, because you have to kind of say, all right, that's happened. That's the result I'm going to make. I don't want that result. Therefore, I'm going to choose something different. So it's all about controlling your state. So I don't drink anymore, okay? Because I know if I drink and drink too much, the things I'm going to do, shouting or being silly or fighting, stuff like that. I don't want to do those things. So I've got to have the choice to kind of go, all right, so don't go there. So it's about saying it's 3 stages. So say somebody really upsets you, great, fine, what are you going to do with it? Because it doesn't matter what they've done to you. A way of being emotionally resilient is saying, forget them, I'm talking about you. What are you going to do with it? So I'm angry. Right, fine, good. You got to do something with that. You got a choice. Where are you going to put it? So for example, like with me, if I get angry, I get frustrated, I might say, all right, I'm going to listen to some music. I'm going to go for a run. I'm going to whatever. So it's that part, you have that choice. And because you start to think about it like that, you've got a choice on everything. There's almost too much choice. And like with the internet, you can get compassion fatigue from just overwhelmed with just doing too much. So it's really simple. It's a 3-step process. Something happens, okay? You choose your response. Give yourself some time. So if you're annoyed, sleep on it. Don't send the text message. Don't send the email, because they're going to come back to bite you. And you're going to be responsible for what you do. It doesn't matter what that first person did. Does that make sense? You're responsible for what you do and your reaction to it. Because that's all people are going to know. They're not going to know number 1. They're not going to know that first bit. Only you're going to know about that. So we were talking off camera, say a family situation, they're treating you a certain way because of something. And nobody else knows what that situation is, do they? They just know how you respond. They just see you. So it's a way of protecting yourself and looking after yourself and taking responsibility. Saying, if I don't want those results, I got to look after that second bit. And generally, it's just give yourself a bit more time. Just kind of literally pull back and go like, right, I'm not going to let those people control me or anything. I'm going to choose where I go next. And again, it's like a habit. You just rep it out, try it. So it could be as simple as you go on Netflix, and if you can't choose something in the first 10 minutes, turn off the TV. Otherwise, you can spend 20 minutes trying to choose something to watch. It happens, doesn't it? Though seriously, you get on there, you don't know what you want to watch, and after 20 minutes, you're like, "What is my life? Like, what's going on?" Yeah, exactly. Too much choice. Yeah, exactly. So you say to yourself before you even turn it on, right, I've got a plan. Right, it's not working, get off. So it's that really. It's just as simple as that. Having that choice, that responsibility, is a very powerful thing, and it can empower you to kind of go. People tend to think you got 2 choices, one or the other. You got 700 million choices. Just take a second to perceive that you have got the choices rather than saying you got the ones.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, choice. So I've still got another question.
Fine.
Right. Okay. So
we can edit this. Sorry.
Right. Okay. So So you've just got, from obviously the last time we met and that kind of, you've got a lot of energy. Where does that come from? Because you said you've always had it. You said even as a child, but like, how do you maintain that level of energy? Because we all like someone with a bit of, do you know what I mean? With a bit of energy. Because if I meet someone, they'll go, oh yeah. I'm a bit like that. But
you want something to perk you up.
No. Do you know what I mean? You want that person that kind of, what is that? How do you get that and maintain it?
You got to work at it. You got to work at it. I'm tired all the time because I work out and I work hard and I do my stuff. I just make sure to rest. So again, if we come back to what we said before, I take it really seriously. So I know that I can perform really well, I have this energy, but I've got to do the stuff that's going to give me that. If you naturally depend on the way you are, so if you're tired that day, therefore you have a tired day, it's not good enough, is it, for other people? So you got to think back and go, all right, what am I going to do? So for me, I make sure I get good sleep. Going outside the bedroom, I work backwards. For me, it works like 10 p.m. Get up about 5. That works. So regular sleep works. Nutrition's really important. So saying on camera now, so I'm going to go with it. I've been vegan for 4 months.
Oh wow!
Because I've been on a nutritional journey. I've done the bodybuilding thing. I've done the low carb. I've done it all. And without getting into ethical sides, on a nutritional point of view, you get more energy because it's easier in your digestive system. You can eat more food because it's lower in calories. When I just looked at it and how it made my body feel, it was just no-brainer. Like I was looking back on some videos that I filmed in October and my face looks fat, like in comparison. Things like rosiness in my cheeks. And that's just gone now, honestly. And I was like, oh my God. So there's that, but that's been a natural progression. So there's that. I don't drink anymore. And again, people might say, well, that doesn't sound very fun. So you do what you want to do. Do you know what I mean? But you've got to go back to that responsibility of like, if you want to have energy, you've got to do the stuff that gives you energy. You know, so if I go out and drink all night, or take drugs, or eat rubbish food, fine. But you got to know it's not really going to energize you. And it's about understanding that, and it go back to the choices. It's also as well about understanding. Like, I look at our relationship and I go like, you know, I got love for Chico. I want to engage with him and make, you know, our interactions a good experience. There's no limit to that. So I'm focusing on that. If I'm thinking about I'm tired, I'm gonna think I'm tired. But if I'm interested in what we're doing and give you my attention and we're really in this moment together, afterwards you might be like, oh, you know. But if you're in that moment, you know, something interesting, you know, and something you're passionate about, you're always going to have energy for it. And another thing as well is, like I say to people, think long term. So like, you know, you might be tired or whatever, but you might be able to just do 2 or 3 things in a day to bring your business forward despite being tired. Do you know what I mean? So for people that want, you know, the high energy, what I'd say is, I wrote a blog about it last week about rest. Figure out what actually chills you out. If I watch TV, it's fine, but it doesn't rest me. I don't feel better afterwards. But if I go for a walk, or if I spend some time with my family or our dog, that's cool, you know, because they're full of energy. I'm going to a floating pod at the weekend, sensory deprivation tank, for the second time. You just lie in this thing, it's got water and it's totally dark, and you just chill out. You don't feel any gravity, all these Epsom salts soaking. It's great. Helps you. And afterwards, I was so relaxed last time, I just started laughing. Well, do you know what I mean? But I've invested, again, back to that thing about you are your best results. You invest in yourself, spend time with yourself or with good people or whatever, and just write a list of things that energize you. Do them, you know, or stay away from the things that don't. But also, it's back to that responsibility. You got to take responsibility. So it's for me, I've got very, very high standards. I can't turn up any time and say, sorry, I'm just a bit tired. It's not. Do you know what I mean? It's especially in a business context, people don't care. All right. So if you know, say you're going to do a speech or a training course or whatever, an interview, you got to be 100% top performance. Be tired afterwards. I did a 10K last weekend, and I was saying to a mate I was running with, and he's like, I'm tired. I'm like, fine. Be tired afterwards. Do it, and then afterwards rest. And it's that kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Thinking more like long distance athlete as opposed to sprinter. You know, even Usain Bolt had his chicken and rice and his massage and all that stuff afterwards. His vegetables. You know, you can only do so much. Chill out, rest and recover, and then go again. Makes sense?
Yeah.
Can't believe I've just come out as a vegan.
Yeah. Oh wow. You know, there we go.
It's going so well.
So you can't go back now.
I can't go back now. I got a t-shirt and everything. My brother got me a t-shirt that says it's hilarious. It says, yes, I'm vegan. And then it's got all the reasons why people hate you or don't want to do it. And then at the bottom it says, and absolutely. But again, like I was saying before about terms, that term will die. It'll go. 50 years, you know. Granddad, I can't believe people used to eat animals. Oh yeah, son, it's a strange time. Before we had such and such. But do you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. People call it vegan and stuff like that. To me, it's just a way of eating the most possible good food. Just eat loads of food. So yeah. No, we'll hold you to that. I'll make sure we cut out a video. You could bleep it, couldn't you?
I
swear. I'm now a beep. Being a beep gives me all the energy I ever need. And most people aren't going to like the fact that I'm beep, you know. But there you go. You got to be real. I mean, you can't be fake. Can't be fake.
So you obviously, the aim of what we do is to inspire people. Now, what inspires you?
What inspires me? So much. People. You know, you, Michelle, inspire me. People inspire me because life is really hard. Really hard. And people just keep going. They just keep trying in all the brokenness and all the despair. They just find a way. My mum inspires me. She's an incredible woman. My dog inspires me. Seriously, because a dog is just like, I just love you. Cat's just like, you gotta earn this. But a dog is just like, it's true. You know, cat is like, you know, it's like when you used to have those relationships where it's like, what have I done wrong? If you don't, I don't tell you. You know, you obviously don't value me enough. It's that kind of relationship with a cat. With a dog, they're just like, just feed. Just stroke my ears and then rub on the belly. But again, it's that point of like, a dog just basically says, you're here, I'm here, and I love you. So it's anything that's related to that. When I see people doing things I can't do, when I've trained somebody or taught somebody or whatever, and they've gone past me, that's really cool. When I see people who are kind, that inspires me, because like a lot of people can be cold, and that's not cool. Anything where I see people overcome adversity, because it's not about what they do, it's about the fact that they can give up. Children inspire me, because people think children have it easy. It just comes natural to children, like it's this, they're automatically happy and have these energy. And actually, if I look back to my own childhood, that's not true at all. Some children go through horrendous things, and despite that, they give all this love and stuff like that. Nature inspires me. Nature is just incredible. Just look around. It's incredible. All sorts of different people. One man I've got to mention, Les Brown. Les Brown inspired me, the best motivational speaker I've ever heard. Ever.
He's good.
Why he inspires me? Because he cares again. He's got a big heart, and he's like, I'm going to inspire you so you can believe in yourself and you can go off and do it. And it's like a family, he inspires me. So inspiration, if you look at the etymology of the word, you look about the spirit inside, and it can be anything. Back to the mug, it's like anything can go in the mug. So anything can inspire me. This morning inspired me looking at the sun behind these two high blocks. That inspired me. I think it's more like, be open to being inspired and you'll find ways. Like a lot of people are just waiting to be like triggered. They're waiting for an opportunity to shout at you, have a go at you. They're just waiting for somebody to, oh, I'm glad you asked. Mine's more like, look for an opportunity to be inspired and find it. So yeah, anything, if you're looking for it.
Yeah, no, that sounds amazing, because a lot of time we lose touch with the simplest of things. That really can inspire, like you say, looking at the sun, looking at the sky. So sometimes you look up, you're like, my days, it's so blue, so big. You know what I mean?
That wonder, have that, because otherwise, the worst thing, and this is the paradox, and like I have to say this, the word paradox to me is essential, right? So I used to think things are either one way or the other. They're not, they're both. All right. So embracing that paradox, life is paradoxical, it's wonderful and terrible and all that kind of stuff. So like you just said, that wonder, that ability to be like, it could be raining and yet it's not, is awesome. So that when it is raining, you're just like, yeah, but the sun's just around the corner. It's true. So we get so caught up in these, like, trying to make these things happen, and these, I want it this way, that we, including me, forget what's here. And that's really difficult, that the past, present and future, playing that out, we spend way too much time on one or the other. For me, it used to be a lot, I'm trying to work on more being present and future. It used to either be past or future, never present. You're getting better on present now. But you get dragged back into 20 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 days ago. And it's like, no, come back, come on. It's like it's like the back to the dog, like, come here. But I want to go over there. No, we know what's back there. Come on, come on. And that kind of thing, pulling back, like I say, just looking and going, I'm here for today, And that's enough sometimes.
Yeah, amazing. So what does success mean to you? And that's my last question. No.
Oh, really? No pressure. Success means actualizing the potential that you have, doing it in a way that's real and authentic to your values. It's about making real that you've kind of got deep down inside, and that you're capable of, and taking it from in here and putting it there. But to me, really, it's changed to mean success is, I'm literally writing about it at the moment. The other night I wrote, your best self lives in the hearts of other people. And that to me is success. Because again, it's like I say to people, if you're a horrible person and you get hit by a bus and you're dead, so what? You're a nice person, you get hit by a bus and you're dead, and you did loads of good stuff that lives on and people benefit, then it was time well spent. So it's literally that to me, success is that. It has to be that. It has to be related to other people, benefit to other people, actualising that beautiful potential. If you can bring out other people's potential, even better. It has to be that. Because too often I used to say, when I get this, I'll be happy, and it's never true. When I get this, when I get this, when I get this, when I get this, it doesn't happen. again, I'd be the rebel and pull back on the word and say like, ask me in 2 years, you'll get a different answer. Because success is a changing thing. Just like happiness, just like love, just like technology. These things need to grow and evolve, and what it means to me today, you know, is all about love and people. I might look back in 10 years and go, oh, that's a bit soft. But I don't think so. I think it has to be that. So it's actualizing that potential in the way that's real to you, in a way that doesn't hurt other people. That's massive. You know, there has to be that ethical element of, you know, if something's successful, is it going to kill other people? I don't think so. That element has to be strong, and it's got to be. It's got to, you know, pull at you inside. It's got to make you kind of go, like, yeah, that was wicked, that was me, or that was us. You've got to have that little bit. It's got to be exciting.
Yeah.
Success is exciting.
100%. And so, just tell us a bit about what you guys offer as a business.
Sure.
Tell us what you guys offer. Where can people find you?
Of course. So what we are all about is growing people. So we have a mission statement, which is growing people to know, to do, and to be their best selves through a journey of integrity, wholesome relationships, and loving kindness. So it's long term, we're on the journey with people. So that started out with us making content. I just used to make videos and blogs, put it out there. And then I started working with big people in business when they were like new to a company, onboarding them, helping them through that journey, but also doing a lot of training courses. So I train for Northwest Chamber of Commerce, I do all these training courses. So it's expanded a lot now. So it's 3 ways really. So it's growing people. We do it through leadership trainings. We train leaders, we train managers with long-term goals, like a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. We do training courses on all sorts of like soft skills, like public speaking, stress, a lot of stuff we've covered. And then we have products. So we have the book, we've got a second book which I'm writing. I've got an online course which is really good. And then we also have like loads of free online content. So the idea is, like I said before, everybody's welcome. You know, so if you were a company wanting to grow their people, brilliant. You might be training, it might be one-to-one sessions, create services there. If you wanted to come on a training course, that's great. But if you were just wanting to buy a book, you know, there's something for everybody. Because 99.9% of the population, right, are never going to buy from us, that's fine. But they can all benefit from the company. So they can all have YouTube stuff, they can have the blogs, that free stuff, and everybody's welcome. We have like an email subscribers list. The email goes out every 2 weeks. And you won't believe who's on that list, right? People of all sorts, walks of life. So it's taking people on that journey, because I think we need to be a new type of company for the new world that we're in. And that heart, that driving, loving kindness that's in the mission statement, the journey, the integrity. You know, I counted back, it was 20 different sectors last year. Trained people from plumbers to marketers to business owners, right? And there's always 2 things they want in anything in business. What you need to be able to do, you need to be able to do it really well. But then it's how you do it, the relationships you have with people, the person you are, the experience people have. That makes the difference. That's what people care about. It really, really is. And that stuff can be trained, improved. You know, communications, relationships, leadership, all that stuff. That's not going to go out of fashion. All the jobs are changing, all the sectors are changing. But that ability to relate to people, get results, and build quality stuff, that's what we do. We help people to learn how to do that stuff, because it's really hard. And you can have all the degrees, you can have all the experience, you can do something and be really good at it. If you can't communicate it to the people, work in teams, you know, lead people, do it that way, look after yourself, it's dead in the water. So that's it really. So that's the way that we do things. We grow people.
Yeah, amazing. And where can we find you?
Online, there's loads of places. So we've got Kataholos YouTube channel, we've got Facebook group, Instagram, we've got Twitter, we've got blogs. So obviously I write blogs every 2 weeks. We've got a subscriber email that you can sign up to, you just give an email address. We've got our website, which is there. We've got an online course, which is amazing, we haven't really talked about, but basically for people who've read the book like yourself, they're like, great, what's next? Because a book is good, online course is better. You can go into more detail, there's 85-page handbook, there's like over, I think 100 videos, and the idea is you can take yourself through it as a personal professional development thing. So it's for people who want the next kind of stage. So there's online stuff, loads of online content, and then offline. You know, we're based in Lancashire, but we travel. You know, I travelled last year to London, Malta, did a leadership conference there. So it's literally, you know, have skills, will travel, online and offline. And again, it depends what you want. You know, so you want some freebie content, just go to YouTube channel. I think there's 58 videos now on all the kind of stuff we talked about, blogs, all that kind of stuff. And if you're interested for like, you know, keynote speakers, training courses, bespoke solutions, you can work with me or one of our associates. Lots of places really.
Amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot of expansion happening this year.
Yeah,
lots of like online stuff and lots of branding.
It looks exciting.
It is very exciting.
I've been following all the stuff that
it's very exciting because again, it's like one add one doesn't make three. It's like 1 year into second year now. Going to go into third year, could be like one add one makes like 1,700. So you know, it'll be cool to look back on this in a year and go like,
yeah, amazing. So thank you so much, Mark. It's been really useful. I believe this
thanks for the coffee.
It's gonna impact everyone. So yeah,
hopefully.
Thank you so much for coming. And surely you have to come back at some point.
Yeah, gotta interview you. Seriously, you've got a story to tell.
This second book, I'm looking forward to that. So,
it's literally just started it and it's coming out and look out for it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
There you go.
Cheers.